Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to Boxing Unwrapped. Welcome to this week's Boxing Unwrapped, the podcast that asks, why the fuck is Luis Ortiz still fighting? I'm Ryan.
I'm Andrew.
And guys, welcome to our new show, which is What the F is the Boxing News. And we're going to, kind of continue this wee segment for a wee while. And from what we hear, you guys are enjoying it. But please make sure to keep leaving us reviews and stuff so that we know whether or not we're doing the right thing. But Andy, do you want to tell the people what we've got in store for them in this episode?
Yeah, under the new format in this episode, we will, of course, run through the results from the weekend. We will look at what the fights are coming up this weekend, of which there are a few to mention. What the F went wrong last weekend, and there's just a couple of points to go over there. Dear, oh dear. No, I'm joking. It's not that bad. And then there's a fair chunk of random news. Grinds my gears. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to go negative or positive with that one. I'm sure I can feel the rage building within you, and I know you're going to grind your gears hard.
So hard, man.
And we'll round off with some listener corner.
Sweet, man. Well, let's jump right in to what the F are the results from last week.
Stateside, there was Erislandy Lara, who was fighting Brian Castano for the Super Welter WBA regular belt. It was on Showtime in the US, but not on TV in the UK. And the fight ended slightly controversially as a draw. There's too many draws in boxing. There's too many draws.
I know what you mean. Genuinely, this is why I like the World Boxing Super Series, because at least they've tried to kind of negate that fact.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't need to have draws. You can work out a way that make a draw impossible. But I guess the incentives aren't always there to do it. But anyway, Castano can feel a little bit hard done by, because he won the fight. He threw more punches. He landed more punches. He was the more aggressive boxer for quite a lot of the fight, and he won most of the rounds, but somehow didn't get awarded the decision. And it was a good fight though, entertaining fight, but was given as a draw. So I'm not sure now whether they'll do a rematch or whether Lara might look elsewhere and go, it's maybe not worth fighting Castano again unless he thinks he can do better the second time around.
Luis Ortiz versus Christian Hammer. Right.
Go on.
Let's talk about this fucking fight. Right. There was a few things that struck me when I watched this fight, actually. The first thing that struck me was that I believe these two guys are examples of like an older style of heavyweight, where like having a physique or athletic ability is really not that important. Because like, I mean, you look at them and like they're professional athletes with tits. I also looked at Luis Ortiz and I thought, his traps are pretty big and he's got pretty big fucking shoulders. I wonder if he's been back on the juice, and how old is he? Like, they kept going on about it being his 40th birthday. Like, I think it's today as we record. But there's no way that man is 40 years old. There's no way that man is 40 years old. He's had a hard fucking paper round if he's 40 years old and he looks like that. Now, Christian Hammer was incredibly disappointing. I cannot believe this man is still like considered elite, semi-elite boxer.
Yeah, he's a gatekeeper. He's just
and Luis Ortiz, like, if he should retire, and it's because if you can't knock out Christian Hammer within like 6 rounds or something, like, I think Luis Ortiz probably an older version of Luis Ortiz. Even the Luis Ortiz that fought Wilder would have been able to knock out Christian Hammer, but he's in terminal decline.
He's getting demonstrably worse. Yeah, I think. Yeah. we've talked about this before, and he's kind of only got himself to blame because if he'd been like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, if he'd had world title shots, I think there's a very good chance he would have won one.
Yeah.
But it's his fault because he's had so many different like bans and stuff that it's taken too long to get his world title shot where he was like a little bit over the hill. And I know what you're saying, like he's only going one way, isn't he? He's not going to find some extra cardio from anywhere.
No, you know, and I just think that actually, like, if we're living in a world where he's considered one of the top heavyweights in the division, then fuck my life. You know?
Well, this is it. We've talked about the heavyweight division, how it's paper thin.
Yeah. It's bish. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that matter.
Well, you said it. You put a really positive spin on it. So me and the listeners, we all appreciate it. We all appreciate the positive energy you're bringing to this.
Mr. fucking Sunshine over here.
There was the card from Peterborough.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jordan Gill versus Emmanuel Dominguez. This, if you guys haven't watched it, this full fight is available on YouTube via Sky Sports Boxing. So,
nice.
So I would highly recommend it. It's a good fight. Jordan Gill made real easy work of this. He knocked out this Emmanuel Dominguez in the third round. This guy's actually one of Dave Coldwell's fighters. And like he looked on fire. You know, I think Emmanuel Dominguez, although he's had like, you know, 7 losses, I think they were against like fairly high ranked opposition. So you know, I think this wasn't supposed to be like a walkover fight, and it definitely was for Jordan Gill.
If I remember correctly, Gill doesn't have that high a knockout ratio, so I think it was maybe a little bit of a surprise that he stopped him so fast.
Yeah.
But maybe he's found some extra power.
Well, I think he's been working on it in the gym from what I heard. There was also another fight which was quite interesting, also on YouTube, from the same card, which is Richard Riakporhe versus Tommy McCarthy.
Oh,
rather.
yeah.
It was a cruiserweight fight. And actually, quite an interesting one. This guy, Richard Riakporhe, is actually promoted and managed by Dillian Whyte. But
he's
like it was a good fight.
Like notoriety, yeah. He's got a bit of attention on him, yeah.
Yeah, and he was fine. He looks fucking dangerous. He looks real dangerous. So interesting, very interesting one. So So and also right, Lucas Brown.
He won at the golf.
He won it at Trump Turnberry. Yeah. So I don't know. Like the only thing is apparently he did get knocked down in his fight.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he got knocked down.
Have you found any footage of it?
No, I haven't. Just news reports.
No way. That's good. That's good. Good journalism. Good journalistic work, Ryan. I can't believe you remembered to check it back up.
Of course,
and that he got knocked out.
Yeah.
I know you're sorry. I'm doubting your professionalism here. It's not fair.
Well, what can I say?
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, it was weird.
How did he get knocked down?
He got dropped in the second round. So I mean, I don't know. Some people said that actually, on social media, that it was a gift decision for Brown. Like it was a bit of a robbery. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So
Brown's a pretty terrible fighter. In fact, he is a terrible fighter.
He is, but like I'm getting excited about this fight against Dave Allen though.
They've not announced it yet, have they?
No, but they've announced the date. The date is April 20th. They have not announced the location. Okay, so Who the
I
fuck
heard it's
knows?
Trump Turnberry. I heard it's Trump Turnberry.
Oh, if it fucking is, I am there. I'm fucking there with my "Make America Great Again" hat on. I swear to God.
We'll go and do a round of golf. We'll do a quick 18 holes, and then we can watch the boxing.
It sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, let's move on to what the F are the fights this weekend.
BT Sport Card Friday night, the Royal Albert Hall, no less.
That's where they actually keep Hitler's ball, isn't it? Because Hitler only has one ball, his other's in the Albert Hall. Is that not?
Oh dear God. It's going to be one of these episodes, isn't it? It's going to be one of these episodes. You're just going to struggle to get through it. I think it's going to be tough. I think there's no fights this weekend. Nothing went wrong. And there's no random news. Nothing grinds my gears.
See you later.
Ciao, I'm out. I'm done. Can't be doing this. Right. Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
Your favourite.
Yep.
Fighting the kind of like the prospects gatekeeper, or the prospects not litmus test, that's not the right expression, like the barometer, the prospects barometer, something like that. So Razvan Kojanu, who fought not that long ago Nathan Gorman, and in a spectacularly unoriginal move, Warren has then decided that Dubois can fight him as well. I can't remember if he went the distance. I think Gorman, because Gorman and Dubois are both kind of having the chat that like, oh, well, I would knock him out. He's like, well, actually, I would knock you out, etc., etc. And apparently they are gonna fight towards the end of the year. I'm not sure I see it. Gorman's got all the skills and not the physique, and Dubois has got all of the muscles, but not the kind of not as much sort of technical ability.
Okay, look, this is the same Daniel Dubois that couldn't knock out Kevin Johnson.
True story.
So
maybe he's learned from that. Maybe he'll be like more devastating this time. We'll see. I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, if he knocks him out super fast, that'd be good. If he does like a sort of turgid 10-round victory, then that'd be bad.
Well, I mean, the guy has got like an interesting pedigree
of losing.
Of losing.
Going on to have a better career.
More recently, he's lost to Joseph Parker and Luis Ortiz.
Yeah. Ortiz banged him out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, in the second round. Right.
There you go. I mean, to be fair, Kojanu is no Christian Hammer. Fuck. Yeah, I was just saying before we started recording how much I was looking forward to like a night watching the boxing. You're hitting me right off.
I know, totally. I'm fucking
your
tearing
energy's
it
off
apart
tonight, Ryan. Your energy is very bad energy. I'm getting bad vibes, man.
I'll just go make myself. I'll go make myself a green tea. And also, like, the thing, I'll be interested to see Anthony Yarde's performance, because actually the last time I saw him fight, I wasn't that impressed.
No,
I wasn't.
He needs to kind of have a higher level opponent. This guy, I don't know a huge amount about, Travis Reeves. I think he's supposed to be a bit better, but not like the best sort of thing. I think he's reasonable, but I don't think he's that much of a step up from his previous opponents. But Yard's like very highly touted, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, like you're 18 fights in. It's time to maybe step it up a little bit.
That's a fair point. I think he talks about not having had much amateur pedigree. That's why he's sort of taken longer in the pro ranks, if I remember correctly. But 18 fights in, you can't just be bowling people over indefinitely. Agree. Yeah. Step up. See how he looks. Maybe he smashes this guy out in a couple and then steps up.
This whole card was actually supposed to be Nicola Adams.
Yes, it was.
Remember?
Yeah.
But she got
out
injured.
Liam Williams is also fighting on the card. Joe Melender he's fighting against. He'll be expected to win. Stateside. Should we go stateside?
Let's go stateside. Let's hop in the private jet.
Private Jet, Fox on Saturday night. This is not on UK TV, this card. Sean Porter versus your Dennis Ugas. Porter is the welterweight.
Superman.
What? Is that his nickname?
I don't know what his nickname is, but like, I mean, he is Mr. Welterweight. Like, I think he is like, I think he's shit hot, to be honest. And that welterweight division is also on fucking fire.
It is. Now, he won a contentious decision against Danny Garcia, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I was trying to find out the belt. I couldn't remember which belt it was he had. It's a WBC belt. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he'll be expected to beat Ugas. Reasonably comfortably. I don't think he's got a fantastic record. Also in the card, Andrej Fonfara, I'm doing well with the names, versus Edwin Rodriguez, cruiserweight contest, and someone that's been mentioned a couple of episodes ago, and Lennox Lewis's tip for the top in the heavyweight division, Efe Ajagba, is fighting the grizzly and wizened and experienced pro veteran Amir Mansour.
Oh, right, okay.
So it might be interesting to see how he is. See how if he can like kind of reap some destruction. But Ajagba's highly touted for the kind of next gen heavyweight champs.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's also a DAZN / Sky Sports card from Verona, which I think is like upstate New York. Dmitry Bivol fighting Joe Smith Jr., defending his WBA light heavyweight belt. Joe Smith Jr., remember, was the man who was the last man to fight Bernard Hopkins when he was like 748 years old. And it was really awkward. It was like a bad day. It was like,
yeah.
Anyway, Bivol will dominate him and may or may not stop him. There's my prediction. I'm tipping Bivol to be the man to get all the marbles at light.
You think so?
He's my pick from the light heavies. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. He's very good. Maurice Hooker defending his WBC junior welterweight title versus Mikel Lespierre. He'll be expected to win that one. And Callum Johnson getting his next outing after his exciting defeat to Beterbiev, fighting Sean Monaghan on the card as well.
Yeah, it was unlucky against Beterbiev. He did well, so
he did do well.
He did do well.
Yeah, could have won it if he'd had some finishing instinct. And I think that's a fair few bets.
Yeah,
a fair few fights this weekend, and there'll be more next weekend. Don't get greedy, listeners. Don't get greedy.
Well, Andy, do you want to tell us what the F went wrong last week?
Something that I missed, and I don't actually know if it was last week or I think it might have been a few weeks ago. But you know how the World Boxing Super Series, the cruiserweights are up again. They're doing the second
round 2, yeah.
And one of the things that I said was, why is Gassiev not taking part? And it was actually because he's injured, and I think I didn't realise that it was an injury that had kept him out. I thought it was a decision that he'd made to not participate, but actually he's injured.
Right, okay. That is interesting.
So it does nothing for the tournament's legitimacy, though.
No,
that
he's not
participating. But anyway, your favourite granny puncher. This could be in random news, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. But Joe Joyce apparently will now get a shot at Manuel Charr.
Is he not on a drugs ban?
No, it's finished.
Oh, right. He's done now. All right, okay.
That was last week. This week.
All right, okay.
Manuel Charr. We should do a podcast about Manuel Charr just because it's kind of random. He comes up a lot. He's like the Kevin Bacon of boxing.
Yeah.
Like you're only ever a few steps away from Manuel Charr, and I think he killed someone or something. There was something about being involved in like a murder or an attempted murder. I think he's a bit dodgy. I'll look it up. I look at there's definitely something about Manuel Charr having I'm sure being involved in someone dying.
Right, deal.
I'll look it up. Anyway, Joe Joyce apparently gets the fight. He's not very good at boxing, by the way, in case anyone's under any illusions. He's not a very good boxer. And just because he's somehow held this secondary WBA heavyweight belt, do not think that gives him any legitimacy, because it doesn't. He's poop. He's better than a 45-year-old and 45 stone Stavern. He's better than that, but not by much. So anyway, Joyce is apparently going to get a shot at him.
Fuck.
Do you remember last week how I didn't find anything about the punch stats for the Degale Eubank fight?
Yes.
And no one seemed to report them. Maybe just no one cared. Anyway, rather than what the F went wrong, this is kind of do you remember that? I totally told you so. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen them because you sent me through the punch stats.
Yeah, you're looking at it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, were you surprised by Degale's output? Do you
know what? I was almost surprised that it was that high.
Oh no. So for the listeners then, and again, I know we take punch stats with a tiny bit of salt, and them in themselves are not always the most important thing. But for a super middleweight fight, for one of the boxers to throw only 224 punches, of which 49 landed, it's staggeringly low.
Yeah, I mean it's a joke. If that doesn't say to you fucking retire, which he did actually.
Yeah, he did. He did retire, and I think so. Yeah, Eubank threw 525 punches, landing 154, and so Degale threw less than half of the number of punches and landed a third as many punches as Eubank did. But 224 punches is just insanely low. For any weight division, that's an incredibly low output over 12 rounds, and it really speaks volumes. Excuse the pun, in terms of the level of his decline.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was quite surprised as well about the low number that Eubank Jr. threw as well in total.
Because he was being hugged the whole time.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
I think because Degale was attached to him like a limpet.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. Anyway, Degale has since come out and retired, which is, I think, a good plan. And we can move on to some random news.
Yes, let's move on.
There's a very nice card being put together for April 26th. The rematch, Srisaket Sor Rungvisai versus Juan Francisco Estrada for the WBC Super Flyweight title. This was a very close decision, and these are two of the very best fighters in the world at any weight division. So that's going to be a bit of a barnstormer. Also on the card is the WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight titles. Daniel Roman versus TJ Doney. That'll be a very good fight as well. Jesse Vargas and Scott Quigg will also feature on the cards. That's a I don't know who the broadcast, if there'll be a broadcast partner in the UK. I think yes, no, there will be, because it'll be DAZN. It'll be DAZN, and I think it's DAZN and Sky. Because Rungvisai signed for DAZN, so that will be a very, very that's a proper top to bottom super high level card, and that headline fight I think will be exceptionally good. Yeah. So that is one to, if not to stay up for, then put aside proper time the next day to watch without knowing the results. Watch it blind if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Watch it unknowingly, and lap it up. Gobble gobble.
Gobble it right up.
Povetkin apparently is in the mix to be Usyk's heavyweight debut in May.
I mean, I think it's an interesting fight. I think that unfortunately, I don't think Usyk gains too much other than a famous scalp.
I think he gains quite a lot of notoriety, and I think he makes the division sit up and take notice, because he could be taking at least one. He could take an easier fight without being criticised, couldn't he?
Yeah. Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think he probably could do. He could fight Manuel Charr, or Joe Joyce. Like or he could fight Kevin Johnson, for fuck's sake. I mean, maybe I think this is maybe a stroke by Eddie Hearn to go, look, let's get someone people know, get him fighting someone that we know he'll win as well, because he's I don't super
know
busy.
Is he that a shoo-in to win? Povetkin's dangerous. Povetkin can bang. I don't know. I expect that Usyk would win, but I think it's a reasonably dangerous fight, because Povetkin's used to being towered over, and I think Usyk's probably slightly taller than Povetkin, but they'll be pretty much similar size. I don't know. And Povetkin's a good boxer. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Let's not forget Usyk's output.
Well, who can forget Usyk's output?
No one.
Anyway, we'll see if it gets made.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting. It's a signposting debut. He's there to not fuck about.
Yep.
If he's doing Povetkin in his first fight, he's looking for one of the. There's only a handful of guys who are harder to beat than who are better heavyweights than Povetkin.
Yeah.
So he's saying this one, if he wins that and wins it well, he's going I want one of the big boys now. He's not messing about.
No.
Go on the Usyk.
Putting the heavyweight division on notice.
Oh,
coming for scalps.
That was the lines. That was the lines I was searching for, searching for in the dark. You found them, big man. Cheers. Amir Khan.
He's a prick.
His sense of humour bypass has been successful. It's been completed.
Yeah.
And he didn't seem to realise that Tyson Fury calling him out was joking.
Yeah, I know. He's fucking stupid.
It was as if he genuinely didn't know it was a joke. He's like, oh, well, I'm not quite sure why you would mention that. And maybe it's because I'm looking really strong.
Yeah, I know.
What planet are you on?
He is the densest human being that's ever been made, right?
Is there any
He's so
possibility
dense that he's got his own gravitational field.
Do you think there's any possibility that he was knowingly saying this, and it was he was joking?
No.
About
No.
super deadpan?
No. He's just too thick. He's too thick for that.
Who's boxing's favourite idiot?
Gervonta Davis.
He's been arrested again.
For fuck's sake! Honestly,
he got arrested at a cash machine.
For what?
I don't know. It was something to do with the barbell, apparently.
Taking out cash. Surely he's got cash to pay the bar bill. Surely.
Has he not got Apple Pay? Surely he's got Apple Pay or something.
Yeah, fuck me.
Or you can just leave one of his watches. Or one of Floyd's watches. Take one of Floyd's watches. You get credit for that. You get a tick for that.
Fuck me.
I'm not quite sure what happened, but there's some altercation, and apparently he ended up having a physical altercation with the policeman who arrived on the scene. So he's going to have yet more criminal charges brought against him. What a complete tube this boy is.
I don't understand. Why are they not looking after these boxers? Don't get it.
He shouldn't be allowed out. Clearly, he just shouldn't be allowed out.
No, he should not.
And I think, unless you have any more, I think that's what we have for random news.
Right. Good stuff, man. Well, do you want to tell me, Andy, what grinds your gears this week?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Well, I was thinking about this, and I had a couple of different things, and I won't do a grinds my gears. I've decided I won't do a grinds my gears. I'm going to do a floats my boat. And I've actually got two little things, just very small things I want to mention.
Okay.
Floats my boat. Floats my boat. I listened to the 5 Live Boxing podcast, and there was an interview with Jarrell Miller, who actually comes across quite well in an interview, I have to say. He comes across as reasonably dim, but reasonably amenable. But one of the things that I thought was interesting, and I give him kudos, because we've obviously a little bit of focus this week on some stats and some figures, etc. We looked at for the boxing countries.
Yeah.
And he quoted, I can't remember the exact figures, but he quoted the figures saying, well, look, if you look over, people say, well, I last 12 rounds, but if you look at my punch output in terms of number of punches over the 12 rounds and how that averages versus Joshua's, then actually I'm a much bigger output volume puncher. So like it's not really reasonable to say that there's question marks over my engine versus his, etc. Which I thought was like, it shows he does research, it shows he does analysis, and it shows he can like remember facts and figures, and he's constructing arguments to make. So I give him like quite big props for that. Actually, I was quite impressed. And
that
he
is
did it
quite
in
impressive,
a reasonable
actually.
way. I know his punch output is apparently quite high, but he keeps going. But I mean, it's been against punch bags, right enough, in some of his previous fights. But anyway, I thought it was quite good, and so I like that. And the other thing was, I think, quite a good shout out to Degale for announcing his retirement and actually just going, do you know what? I'm fucking done. I can't do this. And just going, nah, I'm done. I need to knock this on the head. It was painfully obvious that he needed to do it, but to come out reasonably quickly after the fight and go, do you know what, Chow? It's been nice. Thanks for all the fish and quitting is good. So hopefully he won't go down as one of the guys that should have known better, and hopefully how he reflects on his performance will be enough to dissuade him from ever coming out of retirement.
And on that note, let's just talk about how much of a dick Carl Froch is. Like, I mean, not only to do it when George Groves retires, but then to come out and fucking do it to Degale as well. Such a prick. Such a prick.
You would think, the way he speaks, that he was, the best boxer of all time. It's worth remembering that he was not the best super middleweight of his era. He was the second best.
Yeah.
Andre Ward was the best, and Andre Ward beat him soundly.
Yeah.
So he should put that in his pipe and smoke it when he talks about like destroying people who he never fought and how he would have done it speculatively. But just have a bit of
decorum,
humility, a bit of decorum. I mean, just chill out, man, with your crazy "I was the best ever" chat. Like, geez, we don't want to hear it, Frochy. Put a pipe in it. Anyway, so I agree. That was a good one. So that was what kind of floated my boat this week. So I'm assuming, Ryan, you're going a different way.
I'm going a different way.
You go a different way. Well, tell me then, what grinds your effing gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Right, dude, I'll tell you what grinds my gears this week. And it is Dillian Whyte.
You've done him before.
I have done him before.
To start the tally. I think he's been the focus of your wrath several times.
Well, this time though it's different because this time it's him actually insinuating that Anthony Joshua is a drugs cheat in an interview with Sky.
Really?
Oh man, it's real bad, right? Because he's like, and he's trying to be sly, but then also not being sly. Because he's like, oh, if Anthony Joshua was in cycling, he would be a leader of the pack because he knows how to cycle really well. All that warm weather training, we know what he gets up to. Now let's remember. Is
that what he said?
Yeah, it's real fucking bad. Like he really insinuates that that Joshua is a drugs cheat. Doesn't even insinuate. He just kind of basically comes out and says it without saying it. And this is the same Dillian Whyte who actually once had a drugs ban.
Yes.
Right?
Lest he forget.
Right?
It's a bit. It's glass houses, isn't it?
It's really bad. Like how much he says it, right? And it makes him sound extremely bitter about not getting a title shot and not being like Eddie Hearn's golden goose. So, I just think, I don't think that it's fair. He goes on about saying, oh, I get tested all the time. I'm signed into the WBC clean boxing program, all this shit. I don't hear about Anthony Joshua getting tested that often. It's yeah, you fucking do. Every fucking fight he has. He's, always sharing pictures of, having a, clean sport and all this kind of shit. Now, look, maybe there's something you and I don't know, Andy, that Dillian Whyte knows about Anthony Joshua being a drugs cheat. But I don't think it's fair of him to be insinuating this in interviews.
It's very... I hadn't picked up on that, actually. I hadn't seen anything for the last few days. But, like, that's amazing. It's you kind of wonder what his end goals are, like what he's hoping to achieve by saying it. What, you know, is he hoping to stir up controversy or like some like hatred for like a rematch, or is he trying to, you know, kind of just muddy the water so everyone thinks all the heavyweights are kind of all dickheads and then it's more kind of level? I don't be curious. I wonder how strategically thinking he is when he's decided to do it.
From what I know about Dillian Whyte, he doesn't strike me as a strategically thinking man. I don't think he could strategically pick his breakfast.
Right. Well, we'll ask him. We'll get him on. Ask him. How much consideration do you give to your breakfast choice, Dillian?
Well, it's depends if I want like something sweet or if I want eggs and bacon. I like eggs and bacon. Oh, but then sometimes I like pancakes, but I don't know whether or not I want pancakes when I want them sweet or if I want them with bacon.
I'm not sure that's like perfect in terms of his accent. But,
no. I mean, you know, I think his is probably a bit squeakier, his voice.
He has a Jamaican twang to it, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. That's definitely not. I'm not suggesting you give it another go. Well, yeah, but fair point though. He shouldn't be. You think he would want to be pretty watertight before he's saying it, because it's a bit. It does seem a little bit. I'll be curious to see whether it helps him any, but I don't know. I can't imagine people taking it very well or believing him really.
No.
Controversial.
Very controversial. Very controversial. So anyway, let's kind of move on. I want to give a shout out to Manandoshi, who left us a cracking review on the Facebook page. Thank you very much. You know, he kind of pointed out that we are one of the best boxing podcasts available on Spotify.
We've been saying that for some time.
We have been, even before we were on Spotify, actually. Yeah. But yeah, guys, please keep it up.
It's only slightly more true now than it was then.
Yes, only slightly. I think, you know, we are probably rated number one in Bosnia, actually, at one point or another.
We do appear on. We're all across the continent.
Yeah. So there we are. So guys, keep it up. Please keep getting involved on the Facebook page and stuff. Share it.
Discussions. Great discussions on the Facebook page.
Fucking
liking it a lot.
Great discussions on the Facebook page.
Great discussion. You can just lift this and put it in newspaper pieces. I mean, it's gold.
Gold. Real gold. Real gold. So, anyway, guys, look out for our main topic later in the week. It's one that I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy. It's what the F are the most successful countries at boxing, and some of your comments are involved with that as well. So keep an eye out. Will be coming up. But with that in mind, it's goodbye from me, Ryan.
And goodbye from me, Andrew.